Hello everyone, DCB here, and welcome to another video. First of all, before we begin this one, I would like to make a few apologies. The first one being I would like to apologise for the lack of content that has been uploaded recently. This is obviously due to moving, which has obviously put my schedule a bit a bit out of craziness. And I will hopefully get back to some sort of schedule in the future. The second apology I have to make is that my computer that I would normally use for editing my videos, for putting those compilations of those model builds together, being able to not record from the phone, it's completely dead. So yeah, unfortunately, any videos I will be uploading where I'm talking will be like this from the phone in what is going to be eventually, when we sort it, the filming craft room, which is the one I'm in at the moment. Still not 100% finished yet of moving, of unpacking. And we'll give you a tour once everything is done and ready, and we've actually properly finished moving in. You can probably see a bag just here to my right. But I would like to discuss today. I would like to discuss the things. Okay, let's discuss some things. Now, as most of you know, if you've been a member of this channel for some time, I have autism, that I have aspergers, and I'm also dyslexic, which has affected me greatly throughout my life. With development in some areas, not being able to socialize properly, not being able to read body language, even though I do a lot of talking with my hands. Doesn't necessarily mean I understand what my body language is actually saying or what your body language is saying. If I'm talking to you in person, and you've met me in person, you'll probably notice that I don't always look at you. Even if I am looking at you, I'm not looking into your eyes, I'm looking at someone in your forehead or just past your shoulder. I'm not actually properly fully engaged with eye-to-eye contact, as well as not being able to understand subtle hints of sarcasm, of humour, things that you would take, somebody without Asperger's would be able to pick up on, to be there to understand, and it is frustrating. It's very frustrating with somebody who has Asperger's. I need a routine. I need a set, structured routine that I feel very, very comfortable with. So moving has sort of thrown that out a window for a moment. So I've had a few bad days during the move where I've been feeling really, really agitated, worked up, upset. Even though this move is a good thing, it was needed. We needed to get a bigger space for ourselves. That one bedroom flat was just no good for us, and we needed to move. We being me and my wife. I've been quite lucky, very lucky in a lot of regards to the people in my life who have helped me develop as a person, and I want to thank them. I really do want to thank them. This year, if anything, has taught us not to take anything for granted. We've had such a good thing in this country for such a long time, that and now something has come along and shown us that there's great upheaval in our lives, and this year has caused a lot of people to have a excess of mental health issues, of anxiety issues, of feeling of isolation and loneliness. Those feelings that people have just discovered this year, or have manifested themselves more than they would normally do, is what somebody with Asperger's and autism feels like. Well, from my personal experience, for quite a lot of their life, a lot of my life, even though people have tried to include me, have tried to befriend me, I have felt isolated. I have felt alone. I have felt the stress and the strain of trying to understand and trying to come to grips with people who are, for want of a better word, normal, who have that ability to understand social norms, to understand body language, to understand the feelings of others and relate to them. I have always had that issue of not being able to understand, of not being able to communicate properly, of not being able to read body language, of being separate from society. We're altogether a part of it. Now, loneliness is something that is greatly done, is greatly exaggerated by my aspergers, by my autism. You know, I feel useless a lot of the time. I feel like there is stuff that I need to do, but something is holding me back, that I want to do, but there is something stopping me. And it's all in here. It is my brain. It's the way it's wired. It's the way that it processes things. And I know that these explanations that I do, that these talks I try and have with people are not always, informative, and they can be either overly expressive, overly exaggerated, or they ramble, or they lose their track of what I'm trying to put across because I can't find the words, or I don't know how to express it. The not being able to find the words is obviously part of the dyslexia, where you're not sure what the word is or what it means, how it's spelled, how it sounds, what its exact meaning is, how it relates to what you want to put across and how you want to put it across, which obviously helps, and well, helps, what a word, adds to the aspergers, where communication isn't exactly my strong point. Now, at the moment, I'm talking to a camera. I'm talking to my phone, which is on the camera, which is on my phone, or the camera that I have normally set up to do my proper discussion videos, which, as I said, at the moment, I can't do due to unfortunate issues beyond my control. I don't know when I'm going to get that computer, when I'm going to get a new one. It might not even be to March, April time, due to continuing financial restraints put upon all of us due to the current climate and this virus that's going around. This has really knocked me for six. I've had about 5-6 months now of not working, nearly half a year of not being able to work, of not being in my routine where I've been able to, go out, to go to see my family, to go and visit the places that I like to with my wife on certain times of the year. We have annual events that are pinnacles, are bits of life that I look forward to. It's like, okay, on this day, this happens. On that day, that happens. When that is interrupted, and that flow is interrupted, it is terrible for somebody with Asperger's. It causes a breakdown in them. It does. It causes us to completely break down, to completely shut off, to completely doubt ourselves. And just as we're getting used to that new routine, then something comes along again and gets us back out of that routine. I'm of course talking about the lockdowns that have happened in the United Kingdom. The first one, the long one, that was terrible. My work closed before the lockdowns were announced, so I've been off a bit longer than most people. Because my work saw what was happening, decided to close before the national lockdown was announced, and that completely destroyed me. Now, I know I tried to do more videos on a basis on Monday to Friday, and I just couldn't. There was just something there, that couldn't, because it wasn't my routine. It wasn't part of my routine, wasn't part of how I was used to living, and that completely shut me down. It completely destroyed everything inside of me. I was having really, really dark moments. You know, I couldn't go and train in my martial arts. I couldn't go for my walks. I couldn't go for my cycle rides. I couldn't pick my wife up from her work, even though she's been working throughout this pandemic, pretty much sometimes 14, 15 days straight, 10, 12-hour shifts sometimes, 8 hours normally, you know, 7 to 8 hours normally, and you know, that long a time. I've been in a the old 1 bedroom flat that I gave you a tour of. I've been in there for pretty much the entire year. You know, normally on days of significance, me and my wife we would go places. You know, we would go places. I would, you know, once a month or once every 2 to 3 months, would go to see my family. I have not seen them this year, really. Once, twice I've seen them this year. Twice I have seen my family this year. I miss them. I miss them. Part of my routine was to see my family. I'm not seeing them this year. I'm not seeing them for Christmas. I'm not seeing them for Boxing Day, as I would normally would. So I got back into doing, and it is hard. It is very, very hard. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be in the same position as myself, finding it hard at the moment with the restrictions, with the lockdowns, with the constant change in our life that we seem to have no control over, that is consuming what we would normally do. And it doesn't help that there is a lot of conflicting information. You know, you get told so many different things by so many different people, and even by different people in positions of power who seem to change their tune on a weekly, if not daily basis. Now, these people who are supposed to run our country, who are supposed to be able to make these big decisions to run the country, and the things they say change from day to day, on what we're supposed to do changes from day to day or week to week, and sometimes, well, not even month to month, but pretty much week to week. You know, 4 or 5 days ago we were told, yeah, you could pretty much do whatever you liked, you know. Oh, don't worry about the virus. We have a plan. We have a plan for it. We have a way of dealing with it. You know, we're going to have mass testing, which never came through. We're going to have a test and trace and isolate system, which hasn't worked. We're going to have a tier system for different regions of the country, depending on the level of infection, which hasn't worked and has needed to change. And this has caused so much uncertainty within us, within the general public, for people who do not suffer from aspergers, who do not suffer from autism, who do not normally have the same issues, and they are now having these issues, the same issues that we with Asperger's have, that their lives are being turned upside down on pretty much a weekly basis. They don't know what's going to happen one week to the next. They're told one thing one day and told another thing another, and nobody knows what's going on, what they should do, how they should act, what the heck is going to happen next. Are they going to be going to work? Are they not going to be going to work? Is their job going to be open? Are they still going to have a job? Are they going to be able to pay their rent? Are they going to be able to pay their bills on the reduced salary they have because they've not been able to work? and the things that they normally are doing. If you loved going to the gym, if you loved going to the cinema, if you loved going to the theatre, if you liked going to the pub, these things are part of our routines as a species, as a human being in this country. We are so lucky to have what we have in the United Kingdom, in America, in Europe, in the developed world, if you want to label us like that, that when something like this comes along and knocks us for six, we do not know how to deal with it. We do not know how lucky we are until the things we have are taken from us, to the things that we would normally take for granted, our routines, our ability to communicate with each other, to see people that we love and care for on a regular basis, to be with those that we want to be with. When that is taken away, the truth is revealed that we are all the same, that we are all humans and we all have something that we need. We all need our routine. And when that routine is taken from us, when that we think defines us is taken from us, we do not know how to deal with it. That feeling that you have if you do not have aspergers, that feeling that you are now having is what we have experienced every day of our lives. And now it is amplified 20, 30, maybe, if you're lucky, 10 times what it was before. And we don't know how to cope with it. Nobody knows how to cope with it. We are so lucky and so privileged in the developed world. When something comes along and shows us that we are exactly the same as those people in the undeveloped parts of the world, in the poor parts of the world, parts of the world where they suffer due to things like the geography, the weather, the financial states of those countries. We take so much for granted. Maybe instead of whining about what we've lost for a short amount of time, we should look at what we have, and what we will have again, what will be allowed again in the future, what we will be able to do again in the future. And perhaps, instead of complaining, instead of letting things get to us, even though it's terrible, even though it's devastating, even though it has taken people we love, we should look at our lives, be thankful for our routines, be thankful for those that we love and love us, be thankful for our opportunities to understand each other, to be part of each other, to be understanding of each other. Sorry, I went a bit off track there. This video was supposed to be about how I had coped with my aspergers through the lockdowns, but I think of it now as I'm speaking to you, as I'm speaking to myself through this medium, that we are so lucky in this country. We are so lucky in this part of the world. We take so much for granted. If you can afford to feed your family, if you can afford to feed yourselves and pay your bills, you're lucky. If you can afford a roof over your head, you're lucky. If you have a job, you're lucky. If you have a job that hasn't collapsed, you're lucky. if you don't have to worry about being taken in the night, being assaulted, being beaten up, or persecuted because of your belief of the way you are, of the colour of your skin, of where you live in the world, you are lucky. I am lucky that is what we call reflection. It's good to reflect. It's good to understand. It's good to grow and change the person, to develop yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to develop yourself, to better yourself. When you get to a point, self-development isn't enough. And it's about what you can do for others. So, in this time of great change, of great upheaval, think what you can do for others. And what I can do for others, if I can raise awareness of certain mental disabilities, of certain mental learning difficulties, of being open to new ideas, if that is what I can do through this medium, then that is what I'll do. If I can provide entertainment to people through this medium, then that is something I can do. If I can help people understand the law of a certain universe a bit better through this medium, that's something I can do. Could I do this conversation with a person in real life? No. No, I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to talk as freely and as openly as I am now, because I will shut down. I will go into myself, and I will hide in myself. I would not know what to say, what to do, who I am, or what I am. My ideas are just ideas. My thoughts are my thoughts. My philosophies are philosophies. My beliefs are my beliefs. And I am lucky. And I want to thank you for being with me. I want to thank you for watching this video. I want to thank you for just being there for the ones you love and the ones you care for. As always, if you are enjoying any of my videos, please do leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the videos that you think others will find interesting. And until the next one, this is DCB. Knowledge is power if we use it wisely.